To whatever degree you have the capacity to see every aspect of your own personal experience and the experience of others, and ultimately of life itself, as a process, as part and parcel of a process, it liberates and ultimately enlightens your awareness. It frees it. To whatever degree you don't have the capacity to see your own personal experience, the experience of others, and of life itself as part of a process, your way of seeing is going to be narrow, trapped, small, very unfree, and not much room for truly creative development at all. So the perspective, or being able to embrace the perspective of process, is a really big part of this particular teaching. It's not the whole thing, but it's very fundamental. So a very big part of the perspective of this particular teaching has to do with cultivating the ability and the capacity to see your own experience, the experience of others, and life itself as a process. Because it is. And also, because it's evolutionary enlightenment, enlightenment is the experience of consciousness beyond ego. From an evolutionary worldview or evolutionary perspective, to whatever degree you are able to see every aspect of your own personal experience from the perspective of process and the experience of others, it will enable you to see beyond and see through the small-minded, painfully self-centered, pathologically narcissistic perspective of your ego. Because it's evolutionary enlightenment. It's not just conscious evolution, but it's evolutionary enlightenment. So the enlightenment is the key word here. Enlightenment, if it doesn't mean, it means many things, but it always means going beyond ego. And if it doesn't mean going beyond ego, it's not enlightenment. If we're truly going to evolve as a self, as a soul, as a conscious being, as really at the level of the soul I'm speaking about now, the ego or this postmodern narcissistic pathology, which is a real problem, has to be significantly transcended. Doesn't necessarily have to be absolutely done away with, because that might not even be possible. But there has to be a significant dent, and I mean a significant one, in our postmodern narcissistic inclinations, if there's going to be any level evolution at the level of the soul. Okay? You can be a very smart person, you can be a real second-tier thinker, and be a real jerk, arrogant fool, unevolved, egomaniac. Okay? So the cognitive development is essential, but it's only that. Okay? So for there to be authentic evolution at the level of the soul, the ego has to be significantly transcended. There has to be a significant dent put in its put in the role that the narcissistic self-sense plays in your very own relationship to your own experience and to life itself, sometime around now. And without that, there's no evolutionary enlightenment. Without a significant dent being put in the narcissistic self-sense or the ego, there's no evolutionary development. Period. Period. Period.